All right, so my example one, write a number less than negative 3.5. So I want you guys to write these both number lines, for example, 1 and 2, because we're going to be talking about the same thing. So pause the video, draw your number lines, and press play to go on with the next thing. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what numbers are less than negative 3.5 hundredths, and then, or 5/10ths, right? If I add a 0, it would be through negative 3.50 hundredths, all right? So with this right here, we need to figure out where this number is at on the number line below. So I know negative 3.5, or just thinking about it as positive, 3.5 is in between 3 and 4. The same thing with negative 3.5, but instead I'm working with negative numbers. So it has to be in between negative 3 and negative 4. So if I look at my number line, I don't pass negative 3 yet. Now I'm at negative 3. I'm passing it, so it's in between this and negative 4. So it's in between here, and it's literally right in the middle because I'm talking about half. Okay, so this is going to be this right here. So if I want a number less than negative 3.5, right? So what we need to keep in mind is our number line. So if I do something simple like who's smaller, 0 or 1? 0. Who's smaller, 1 or 2? 1. Who's smaller, 2 or 3? 2. So then I am going to the left, and I notice that all my numbers are getting small. Okay, the same thing with my negative numbers. Who's smaller, negative 2 or negative 1? It has to be negative 2 because it has to be to the left, all right? So if I want to know numbers that are big, remember, I just want the opposite of that. And this is going to be big, okay? So numbers that are small, I'm going to get this red. If I notice, again, I said all my numbers to the left or whatever we're comparing has to be small. So not there, not right at 3, but a little bit before 3 and before that, all my numbers are going to be small. So make sure to circle that. So make sure you circle that. And you guys are going to work with example 2. But remember this negative 2 and a fourth, okay? I want to change this to my decimal number. And I'm going to help you guys really quick. So I know I should have 2 wholes and a little bit more. So this a little bit more has to be, you guys should know this fraction by now. It's going to be 0.25. Okay, if you do not remember how to do that, you guys have to divide. But this is my help to you guys. So now my example 3, okay, or remember, what I want you guys to do is to label this for this one, sorry, and then also circle wherever the number is less than that, okay? So make sure to follow your example 1. So example 3 here, it says write the correct inequality. So remember, inequality is my less than, my greater than, or sometimes even equal to, but they're mostly referring to less than and greater than. So in order to compare, I want to make these both into decimals, okay? So I know for sure this one I have a whole and a little bit more. So this is going to have a decimal. Remember, this is my negative. Right here I have a negative. So what I'm going to have you guys do is we're going to set up our division for both our fraction parts, and you guys are going to figure it out. Okay, so remember, top dog is 3. 3 goes in the house. My wimpy dog gets kicked out. The same thing with this one right here. 2 goes inside the house and 5 outside. I want you guys to figure out the decimal equivalent for both fractions right here, and then we'll talk about that after. So pause the video, work on that, and then I'll do the same thing. So I just did the division for both of these, so make sure that you guys got the same results with doing the same work for both of them. So then I know this one should give me 0.75 hundredths, and this should give me negative 1.40 hundredths, okay? So now I want to compare, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this one in purple and write it under, so I'm going to write negative 0.75. Okay, so remember, when my numbers are smaller, or again, looking back to my number line right here, 0.75 hundred should be like about right here, okay? And then my 1.40, I guesstimate to like right here, okay? So remember, if I am using less than or greater than, right? Remember, using this, the ones to the right are going to be smaller. So this one's smaller. So this one, right, is negative 1.40. This one's smaller. This one has to be bigger. So my correct inequality is this greater than symbol right here. And you guys are going to